Hey y'all, I'm back. Okay, I did one on Mr. Americas, and I want to say to each and every one of y'all, what up? You know, learning to come together as a family on one continent and mentally and spiritually lifting up the borderlines and learning each other's customs and taking away the hate that was programmed in the media, in the news. People broadcast certain events because of certain oppression that was put out. So it's called socializing. When you have certain things that in an environment, if you don't have no food and you've been taught to work to get food and there's no work, then your natural self is going to come in. The natural self of you surviving. And what's going to happen is you're going to be sought to survival. And in that survival, what you're going to do is you're going to resort to whatever it takes. If it's robbing, burglary, snatching pocketbooks, or stealing, you know. But see, all of this is a part of the trickery that's put out there, so we don't come together, we don't come along, we don't advance. We will be put back into not only a cage, we're in the United States of America, as they would call it, the United States, because it's 50 states, and each state has different rules, which they call constitution. These constitutions is to hold the people under control. And those who conform to the Constitution are more than likely sold out, you know, because they cannot see a larger picture. To give an example, when we talk about sports, sports is a mechanism, it's a program to control the masses and to take away, disperse their energy. Okay, give an example. If you have, when we talk about football, in America we call it soccer. You have different countries competing against each other. That right there brings forth division of different countries. So that is a macro, a large social method of division of the people on the earth. So you have what you call the soccer players. You have two teams. Say if it's 50, 100, 50 on each side, you have 100 people. That 100 people may be entertaining, and the word entertain goes into entertainment, into detainment, to detain the minds. And that 50 plus 50, two teams, are considered to be illusionists. They can consider to be magicians because they're kicking the ball, and people really believe that they're doing something that's helping their present situation and doing something that's helping the future, building for the future, or doing something that's unraveling, this is the most important part, unraveling the things that happened in the past. So as the people go to the sports, they're being hypnotized, because if you were able to unplug yourself from that, you will be able to see that doing this type of ritual, that's what it is, it's a ritual. It's a European ritual that they have placed in around the world, so that you will not be able to use that energy. Example, say you have 10,000 people in the stands, and you have 10,000 people in the stands, or 100,000 people in the stands, more. So if you take 1,000, you have 100,000 people in different groups. Now if you take 1,000 people and put them on a mission of how to do this, or how to feed the poor, and you take another one on how to correct the issues of injustice, you take another 1,000 on how to monitor the court system, you take another one how to regulate the utilities companies, you take another 1,000 to see all this energy that they're yelling and screaming and eating and poisoning themselves and drinking beer and getting high is not being utilized. So it's selfishness for the individual, is a shrewd method of technology for the governments, you see, and we have to change it. Not saying that the people in government know, because they know not what they do, because the information that you're hearing now is something totally different. It's totally different from whatever's been said on the planet. You can't even Google this. You can Google minuscule NUSKQU, but you cannot Google the new knowing that is taking place right now as Mr. Americus, as this is the new world and the correct world order that we're putting in place now. Now, we're not trying to hurt anybody, but we are doing what we do before nature sets in. You see, this is what man doesn't understand. That nature, they try to calculate the movements of nature by what we call meteorologists, who studies the occurrences of nature. But in reality, certain people was given, like they have the golden children or indigo children, things of that nature. Well, it was a bloodline that was put down here through a timeline of what we would call Adam, right, and Eve. And then for one understanding, Adam and Eve meant one thing. And then as you went to another level, Adam and Eve meant another situation of evolution, and Adam, A-T-O-M, and from A-T-U-M, atum, from Egyptology and things of that nature. But the whole thing, there is a bloodline, there is a timeline. In the bloodline is certain people that actually was chosen by nature, and we call that now in the teachings of Mr. Americus the correct world order. And in that correct world order, everyone who's willing will rise up and take their correct place and do what they need to do. And all the weapons that man has come up with has nothing on the force of what we call nature. Nature is N-A-T-U-R-E, which is true, and is like dual, and true. So we're talking about another dimension of things. We're talking about something that was given to us to protect us, as we call a host of the Anunnaki, or the host of the Elohim, you know, and the host of what they would call in English angels. So within all this, we're going to let you know that Mr. America is here, and we're broadcasting live. This is for all the movers and shakers, all the leaders, and all those who are faking. It's time for you to step up and learn, do what you need to do, and we say eye to eye, and that's like the third eye open. There's other things that happens to be the gathering of the people, and we do have a script. So all of you who have representations in every different, what you would call countries, province, and everything in the Americas, from Greenland all the way down to Chile to Brazil, big shout out to Colombia. Big shout out to Panama, which is two places that's very, very great. Panama is a stronghold of the European, which is called Americas. Now, America can be a great country, but you cannot burn two ends of the candle. You cannot say that you don't give allegiance to the Queen of England, right? And you do. So you cannot fool the people any longer with your politics as being black, because we're not black. The word black is originally the word block, B-L-O-C-K, which is to be locked up in a system of political kings. These we call mayors and aldermen and all this things. Those are just is a flaw. There's a flaw in the system. You got your white W-H-A-I-T-E. W-H-I-T-E is actually the double of the U, which is the sound or U. W is two U's. And H-I-T-E, it means hate. So when they say I'm white, they're actually saying I hate. When they say I'm black, they're saying I'm with you on the table of black and white, and I will block those who want to get into, as I said, the timeline and the bloodline of this rebirth or recreation that is stated in the watered down King James Version called the Bible. And if you read in the Bible, you should study the Bible and find yourself approved to the original script. It's not the modern Hebrew, but the Hebrew. And the Arabic, and not the Hindu version of the Urdu and of the Arabic now, but the tribal that the book was originally written in, which is called Quraysh. And you have to go to Sudan, and that's why they're having problems in the land of Sudan, because that's another stronghold also. But we're not dealing with that we're going to go from continent to continent. The first continent is the continent of Americas, and I said to y'all, peace to all y'all, the inhabitants, peace to your leaders, your chosen leaders, and those who have taken leadership. It's time to learn, and that's why you have ruler state, or to learn how to rule the state of existence, and cohesive with harmony, cooperation, proportion, and balancement. I am Mr. Americas, and this is my third broadcast, and we're all going to have fun and laugh, and we're going to live with this and the children, and I will talk about the children in the next broadcast.